thanks everyone for coming today. That's like super inspiring that a bunch of people came on super short notice. Wasn't expected and totally amazing. So yeah, we're just gonna go in and do kind of a quick message to the minister.
I demand that Minister Kent respect Indigenous rights.
Respect Indigenous rights.
Both Six Nations
and
Anjinong First Nation have expressed serious concern about the pipeline reversal. These concerns have not been addressed by the National Energy Board or the Government of Canada. First Nations have the sovereign right to free, prior, and informed consent regarding projects that impact their lands. We demand that Minister Kent deny the NEB approval until First Nations concerns are addressed.
I demand that the government act responsibly. No Line 9. Tar sands crude is much different than conventional oil. Tar sands are mixed with condensate to make dilbit, which is more corrosive and requires high temperatures for transport. Dilbit has been described as fast, hot, and toxic. Line 9 was built in 1975. And not designed to carry this toxic mix. The NEB has not addressed these problems. But rather been approving tar sands projects regardless of the impacts.
No tar sands oil. The planet is cooking.
Tar sands oil. The planet is cooking.
Tar sands oil emits 20% more carbon
Tar sands oil emits 20% more carbon
than conventional crude oil. And enough natural gas is burned producing tar sands to heat 2 million Canadian homes each day. If the Minister of Ethical Oil has not noticed 70% of the U.S. is in severe drought. And southwestern Ontario farmers are experiencing similar conditions. The Greenland ice cap has melted at an unprecedented rate this summer. The facts on human-induced climate change are indisputable. And producing tar sands during this era of climate chaos is a death sentence.
For the planet.
We demand that our governments take responsible action to protect our drinking water at its sources. Pumping highly corrosive and toxic materials across the watersheds that flow into Lake Ontario and Lake Erie, puts our drinking water at severe risk. If our drinking water is severely contaminated by a spill, then those who have made the decisions to let this project go forward should be held criminally responsible. In our opinion, putting our water system at risk, like this, is equivalent to ecocide.
Equivalent to ecocide.
We must all remember that we can't drink oil.
Amen.